Hello, I hope your Friday is going well. And today I want to record a video about a wonderful initiation that I got from my from a manager, and throughout this year was actually being I was getting this initiation from my partner before we separated, but I did not take that in. It didn't register to me. It's only registering to me now, and um, it's about energy management and emotional charge. So it relates to what I was talking yesterday, but it's in a little bit of a different light. So once I started working on my healing, and it's not like that you sit down and you make it a project, but you're actually working on your healing constantly, but you become more mindful and more aware of like your healing. And so I started working on my trauma and my trauma responses, and now that I'm identifying and trying to learn ways to be more mindful, one of the initiation that I got was about energy management. And I was like, what about energy management, and what about like consistency? Like, really, I was perplexed at first, because I was like, what does it really mean, like energy management, and what do you mean by consistency? Because I have like consistent results, like in my job I am consistently performing well, touch wood. So really, what am I lacking? It took me so much to come to a realization or an understanding that the energy management is such a core part of your role as a human being in this world. um as soon as you're born, you have all of these relationships that are given to you, right? Like you're a, a son or a daughter, sister, brother. You become like, you're a cousin, you're a niece, you're a nephew, and then like you're growing up, and then you suddenly start becoming an adult, and now you have all these adult roles. You eventually become a mother, a father, and it's like there's so much that comes at you. And I think especially for parents, because I know I was one child who was so critical about her parents, when at a stage where I just like looked at them as they should have done better, or you could have, like, why are you doing it like this, or why are you behaving like this? It's so hard. Nobody teaches you how to become a parent. Nobody teaches you how to become a manager or a leader, um or like, really be successful in these endeavors. And I think it is because we are not taught energy management. Nobody tells you as a child that learn to manage your energy. But you suddenly are thrown into the deep end of adulthood, and there you are, like, suddenly you have this child that you're taking care of, that you really wanted to have, but now it's out in the world, and you're like, oh my god, this baby like just doesn't stop. Or you're a customer success manager like myself, who really wanted to be in tech and wanted to be a customer success manager, and now you have like 130 customers, and you're like, oh my god, how do I manage this, like this energy? And one of the big um uh, the something that is like a upside and a downside both of globalization and of technology is that we are exposed to so many more people today than we ever were, which is a boon when it means that you can reach, your voice can reach, your messages can reach, your agency can reach to much larger audience than it could in the past. And it's a bane because you are constantly bombarded with this energy from every angle. Like, if I talk about my work, me as a customer success manager, and I'm not talking to 130 customers every day, but I am responsible for those 130 customers and more to be added in my book. So when I'm reaching at that stage in my career now, where I have more than I could have handled in the past, and I'm reaching at that stage where a job which requires of me to be speaking to a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds in different countries at different stages in their life and in their career, and each one of them has their own priorities, and you are on a call with them literally like this. I am facing them on that call, unprepared, not knowing exactly what they're going to say, not knowing what's going to come on that call when I'm there, but being grounded and knowing that there's energy that I'm receiving from there, and energy that they are receiving from me, energy that um that you share with your partner, energy that you share with your parents, energy that you're sharing with your siblings. And that's where you go into that trauma response and mindfulness. That's where that entire cycle should fit. Because until I actually started acknowledging that I operate from my trauma response, I did not acknowledge that I need to be more mindful. I was always acting from a space of I am right, I know what I'm doing, and I'm just like challenging and pushing back everybody or anything, like, that's kind of like not aligning with what I want or what I need or what I think is right. It's only when I started acknowledging my trauma and my trauma responses that I understood that I need to build a space of mindfulness. And believe me, it's a long journey. It's gonna take me time to reach there. But I am on the way. And that's where energy management becomes so important. I am one of the people who is so open about, like, and so porous. My manager says that I am a sponge. I absorb and I learn everything very quickly from my environment and my surrounding, which is also sometimes not working to my favor. And I'm finding ways how I can manage my energies. For example, today I had one call this afternoon. I kind of had an idea that this is going to be a tough call, right? I was speaking with a CEO, and I knew that this is going to be a tough call. This is going to be negotiation. This is going to be like, this CEO will play hardball. I'm just going to have to be like prepared. And this is what I did. I went and I did my power play. I just like, okay, I'm going into a negotiation. Let me like girl boss. Let me be like prepared and do what gives me the confidence to go into that situation. But I was also very much aware that because it's a tough negotiation, because it's a tough conversation, the energy might not be the easiest one. The energy that's going to come at me might not be so easy for me to handle or manage if I don't have a few guardrails. So my guardrail that I built was to anticipate the situation before it happened. Exactly what I was talking about yesterday in my video. The toolkit that my success coach has given me. I did it subconsciously. I didn't like sit down and do it. So maybe this is what she means, is to build it subconsciously. But I anticipated the situation I was going to go in. I prepared myself mentally, physically, emotionally. I went into that conversation. I had a tough conversation. I was patient. I let the other person feel heard. I let the other person feel acknowledged of the emotions that they were feeling. I also let the other person know my intention, which was that I am here to help resolve the situation. I'm here to help find a solution to this. I also acknowledged, because it didn't bring, like, we couldn't come to a solution at the end of that call, which was one of the scenarios that I was anticipating. So when the call reached to that stage, I acknowledged that I understand that we have not reached to a solution. And then I told them the other different options that they have. And that was a way where I detached myself from that situation. I understood where it is within or beyond my capabilities in my role, which can relate to anybody in any role. Like, you could be a mother, you could be a grandmother, you could be a father, a partner. Like, this is beyond my capabilities and this is beyond my capacity. And yes, and then I gave myself 15 minutes. I closed my computer. I picked up my guitar. Like, my go-to is my guitar. I picked up my guitar. I sang a song. I jammed a little bit for 10 minutes. And there I was, back in the game again. And this was me being mindful. This was one of the ways I was being mindful. So I really wanted to share this with you. And I will talk more about energy management, and I will talk more about like emotional charges, because it's not something that is just surface level. But I really hope this video helps as well, give you some perspective or ideas, and some ways to maybe manage your energy, especially if you're going through any stressful time. And I wish you a happy weekend. I'm gonna take off for the weekend. Bye.